BuzzFeed has become the Balaam of this story. Okay. But hey, let's not look a gift horse or donkey for that matter. Let's not look a gift horse or donkey in the mouth, right? We now have unfettered access. Washington Post tried to get ahead of this so they could put their own kind of spin on it. And then BuzzFeed just put the whole thing out there for everybody to download just to get around the Washington Post filter. Sensitive discussions about gain of function research and has it tied to the origins of the virus. They were having those from the very beginning. Well, we were assured we weren't doing that kind of research anymore. You know, the kinds of things that Fauci has repeatedly and vehemently denied under oath to the United States Senate. Admitting that masks don't work after all because it's an airborne spread contagion. Ignoring warnings specifically posed to him about the suspicious nature and origin of the virus, that he was indeed aware that the virus may have come from that lab. In essence, all the things that Fauci has contradicted over months of congressional testimony and public media appearances, all confirmed in these emails. Anthony Fauci needs to be locked in a hole, and then we throw away the hole. That's what we do to people who commit crimes against humanity, because that's what's happened here. He really is the most powerful and dangerous bureaucrat in American history, after all. These FOIA'd emails show that, to some extent, this has been a scamdemic all along. To some extent, it has been. From the beginning. The most innocent explanation here, near as I can tell, is that given the potential of a synthetic origin of the virus and that it may operate, therefore, outside the natural laws of science and virology, they went ahead and imposed on us a bunch of mitigation efforts that all previous documentation, every time, both real time and studies, showed previously doesn't work. And they just did it to panic because they were unsure of the true origins and therefore nature and behavior of the virus. That's the most innocent explanation here. You know, that whole Fauci, we lied to you for your own good thing that he likes to say every now and then, likes to roll that one out every few months, right?
Yeah.
That's the most innocent explanation to this. That they just thought you and I were too stupid to understand the ramifications of the true origins of the virus, so they imposed this tyranny on us in a panic because they were unsure of how it would behave. That's the most innocent explanation, and it goes down further the rabbit hole or the hell hole from there. From the beginning of this tyrannical episode, some of us took a great risk pushing back on it. 15 months later, despite dishonest fact checkers and punishing social media censorship from places like Facebook and their the science team, we're now being proven right about everything. This, however, this didn't have to last this long. We could have ended this months ago. But we didn't, because some major figures in conservative media, they decided to kiss Big Pharma and Big Tech's ass instead. They decided to put Scott Gottlieb, Big Pharma Goebbels, on their highly rated podcasts. They decided not to touch these matters because it might get dinged by Facebook, and that's their monetization plan. I hope you feel good about that. The graduations and funerals and weddings you and your family didn't get last year. The bacteria regurgitator, cloth mask, face diapers your kids wore this year. I hope you feel good about that. That you spent years buying their books and making them rich, so that now, the moment when they were needed the most, they turned tail and ran. Or they went back into the silly partisan political soap opera, Circle Jerk. They did that instead. Meanwhile, we're undergoing the greatest threat since Pearl Harbor. A real existential threat to our way of life. While our freedoms burned, they punted. This is a reminder, first, to you as a consumer, to migrate where solid food is served. This isn't a game. This isn't about owning the libs. This isn't about a damn talking point. We're playing for real stakes here. At least one person in this audience had someone that they loved die, probably, because they couldn't get to an AA meeting. They were closed. At least one person in this audience probably had to just sit there and suffer while their grandmother or grandfather died alone in a nursing home. And that's if they escaped the half dozen governors that were sending them to their death there. Somebody in this audience has their kid in counseling, which they may never recover from emotionally because of what they were put through in the last year. Someone in this audience, that actually just might be you right now. A family business, a family farm, something that's a legacy passed down, cherished for generations, gone, never to return. But we couldn't bother. There was some dumbass political soap opera to talk about instead. Or we might get dinged by our Facebook printing press. This is a reminder to my colleagues. The stakes here are high. Much more is at stake here than your Facebook algorithm position or being taken seriously by the very people trying to end us. Or viewing yourself as the self-appointed gatekeeper. Well, you know, our own base has gone crazy. Someone needs to be the one that rises above all of this. We've got enough Karens and cul-de-sacs. We don't need them behind microphones. Thank you. We should have never bought into this on any level. I'm reminded of what Ron DeSantis said. What regrets did he have over the last year that I didn't follow the science sooner? You know what my regret is? My regret is that I didn't lean into this more aggressively sooner. That I had any doubt at all that something else could be going on here that I'm missing. And therefore, even in March, played it somewhat safe. That's my regret. My regret is I didn't do right away what Steve Deace always does. Nuke now, ask questions later. That's what I should have done. I should have done the show in March that I did in May and June. That's what I should have done. We should have refused benefit of the doubt. Didn't matter if Trump was in the White House or not. He's listening to these fiends. The same people who are wrong about everything else, who corrupt everything else, the same spirit of the age that ruins everything else was in charge of this too. Never again. Never again. Believe nothing you cannot independently verify. That includes coming from us. Believe nothing. Don't just be lazy and take Aaron's montage. I get it. You can't read 3,000 emails. I don't have time either. But maybe go click on the link yourself and read a few, maybe. Take self-government seriously for a change. Don't turn us into your new, this is why we used to love to play the song, We Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who. Don't make us your new heroes. We'll just take your word for it. Don't take anybody's damn word for it. Do your own work. Take your citizenship seriously. Never again. Don't believe any of these people ever again. At best, they just suck. I can't really tell if Anthony Fauci is conflating the case fatality rate and the infection fatality rate, because he does it both in the New England Journal of Medicine piece. Some of you have pointed this out to me because you're smart. Thank you. I didn't point it out to you because I'm not going to make it easy. I'm not your babysitter, man. And then he conflates it again. That's a big deal. Case fatality rate is just the confirmed positive tests. But an infection fatality rate assumes asymptomatic spread, of which there's a lot. Conflate those things, you get completely different statistics. And he did it twice. And one of them was in print at the New England Journal of Medicine, and it made it through all of their editors, and no one asked. At the New England Journal of Medicine, no one asked. Hey, we had a fact check here. No, they didn't. They sicked the Facebook science team on people like me trying to help you. Instead, they banned some of you from your own pages with all your family photos. They did that instead. This is Germany 1930s level evil. It's a proto version of true totalitarianism. Never again. To my colleagues, there's more at stake here than the next book deal, the next ranking and pod bay, and coming up with your favorite hacks for the Facebook algorithm. There's a lot more at stake here. We damn near lost our way of life for good. In several places in this country, they still don't have any of it back. And in much of the Western world, it's still fully COVID-stan. Head north to Canada. The buildings are nicer. The people are whiter, but it might as well be Mogadishu. Never again. Never. And don't you dare let them have your children as lab rats. The same people that want to push these experimental substances into your children without FDA authorization. My friend Michael Ferris, who has led the way on parental rights over there at Alliance Defending Freedom, brother, if whether my kid has to be forcibly injected with an experimental substance to attend a damn school, if that ain't a parental right, then retire. Enough games. We don't have time for this. We damn near lost everything by a thread this last year. The game is afoot, and it is serious.